Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be talking about my favorite mascaras of all time, or the greatest mascaras of all time. If you're new here, welcome to our channel. My name is Danette. I'm super excited to have you guys here. If you end up liking this video, please feel free to like and subscribe to our channel. So let's go ahead and get started. So it's interesting because obviously based on like my channel name, Eat, Sleep, Mascara, like I love mascara, and my sister pointed out that I had not uploaded a YouTube video that was focused on mascara, so that's what I'm doing today. These are mascaras that I have featured on my Instagram account, so in case you don't follow me over on Instagram, feel free to also head over there and follow me. I feature a new mascara, not a new mascara, but just a different one every single Monday on my Instagram stories. I go through a quick description of the mascara, and then I actually show you how the mascara applies super close and personal on my eyes so that you can see exactly how my lashes look during application. And I'll actually be inserting a couple of clips from my Instagram stories in this video as I talk about the 7 mascaras that I have in front of me. So let's go ahead and get started because that was a really long intro. The order of which I'm going to talk about these mascara goes from drugstore all the way to luxury. So hopefully you can find something in your price point that you feel comfortable with and would like to try. All right, so the very first one is NYX's Worth The Hype mascara. This is my absolute favorite drugstore mascara. If I am in a pinch and I need to grab a mascara and the only accessible place I can go is like a CVS or a Walgreens or something like that, this is the mascara that I reach for. So here is the brush. It looks pretty standard. There doesn't really seem to be, you know, anything too special about it. It's got your typical, like I like to call it like a Christmas tree kind of a brush, very soft bristles. But what's amazing about this mascara is how it volumizes and lengthens. When you are applying this mascara, you can literally see as you're building up, like as it builds upon itself, you can see that your lashes are getting volumized, and then it starts to do this thing where it starts building on itself, and then your lashes get longer and longer and longer, and it's just incredible. It's a really good formula. Definitely one of my favorite NYX mascaras out there. I will say too, the wear time on this is fantastic. I don't find that it runs or smudges throughout the day. Even after I've worked out, like I feel like it stays on pretty well. The next drugstore mascara that I want to talk about is Milani's highly rated mascara. So first I want to talk about the packaging because I think you can kind of see that, but it has stars all over, and if you know anything about me, like I love stars. Like I just think that they're, I don't know, exciting, fun design. Anyway, that's one of the reasons why I actually picked up this mascara and tried it in the first place, is because of the cute packaging, and then mascara itself is really quite good. So here is the brush. Less of that Christmas tree shape here. I'm going the wrong way. Less of that Christmas tree shape here, but it definitely does get to every single one of your lashes and coats it in like a it's a very black formula. So if you are looking for something that's going to give you extreme volume and something that you can really build up, like coat over coat over coat, without it getting too like clumpy or anything like that, I would definitely recommend this. Wear time I think on this one is slightly less than the Worth The Hype mascara, but nothing so atrocious that like I would write it off, if that makes sense. So the other thing too is I would say in terms of longevity, like shelf life, obviously you really shouldn't be keeping your mascaras really over like more than 3 months, but not everyone is great with that rule. Like I'm not even great with that rule sometimes, but I will say that this one does tend to dry out a bit faster than the NYX Worth The Hype mascara. So just something to consider. Okay, moving into more of like the high-end pricing, I have to talk about Tarte's Lights Camera Lashes mascara. This has been my go-to mascara for years now. I actually wore this for my sister's wedding when I was her maid of honor, and then I wore it for my wedding when I got married and I was the bride. Duh. Anyway, so this is one of my favorite mascaras of all time. This is actually a brand new tube, so I am opening it to show you guys, mostly just because the one that I had before, obviously I use it all the time, so it was really quite dried out. This one, even though the shape of it looks very similar to the Milani brush, there is a little bit of a difference in that the bristles on it are way shorter. One of my favorite things about having the shorter bristles on the brush means that I feel like as you're combing this onto your lashes, I feel like you can get as close as possible to your eye to really kind of catch every single one of your lash hairs, I guess, in a way that kind of just, that I actually don't think I can achieve that with either of these drugstore options. For this one, I feel like I can get super close to my eye, really build that definition and wiggle it back and forth to make sure that I'm really getting that intense definition, but intense volume, and I'm also making sure that I'm depositing like a decent amount of mascara onto my lashes. The one thing I will say for this is that for me, it doesn't flake or run or anything like that. It does a really great job. It's actually I think it's actually sold as a 4-in-1 mascara, so it's supposed to be like very nourishing for your lashes, and then at the same time it does both volume and lengthening. And so this is just one that I always have in my arsenal. I always have this, at least one open on my vanity and then one as a backup, just because if I don't have it, I feel quite lost. So highly recommend Tarte's Light Camera Lashes. The next one is KVD Beauty's Go Big or Go Home Mascara. The first thing I will say about this mascara is that the packaging is like out of control. It is so thick, so thick. This mascara I really enjoy if I get to wear a primer underneath. So if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I'm obsessed with the Marc Jacobs Velvet Primer. I'm looking for a new one because that one's going away. I've said it before, it makes me really sad, but that's okay. This one I don't really like on its own, and the reason for that is because, and I'm not sure if you can see this on the brush, it gets a little like clumpy right on that brush, and you can kind of see there are a couple little like chunks on it. Now, having said that, if I get to put this over a mascara primer, it kind of helps get rid of that like chunkiness, and then this becomes a mascara that is just pure volume. If you are looking for a mascara, if you're one of those people where you're like, oh, I don't really need like an extra length or anything like that on your lashes, which unfortunately for me, like I need all the help I can get, this is a really good mascara. So if you are looking for something that is pure volume, I would definitely recommend checking out this mascara. The one thing I will say is I don't travel with this often because it's like the size of 2 mascaras. Okay, no, that's an exaggeration. It's the size of like 1.5 mascaras. And so if I'm traveling, I don't usually bring this one with me, but I still enjoy it. It's always on my vanity. I have purchased multiple of these because there are some days where, you know, if you're wearing like a really thick liner and you need that extreme volume and you need that punch, this is a really good one. Okay, and then we're kind of getting into more of the like luxury priced mascaras, and so I just want to put a really quick disclaimer, not saying that you should go out and purchase these, but if you are looking for a luxury mascara, then these are the 3 that I would recommend. Alright, so the very first one is the McGrath Labs Fetish Eyes Mascara. First warning that I have, if you are someone who doesn't like fragranced products, or you have more sensitive eyes or eyes that tend to water or something like that, I would not recommend this mascara. And the reason is because it has a really strong smell. But if you don't mind it, this is an amazing mascara for, and you can see the brush is kind of just a straight across, more of that kind of fluffy brush as well. This one does a very similar effect, but slightly blacker in pigment compared to the NYX Worth The Hype mascara. It lengthens, it builds volume, it looks absolutely amazing. I find that the wear time on this is pretty solid as well. I never really have any issues with it smudging or anything like that, so I would definitely recommend checking this out. Again, if you are not afraid of fragrance products and you're looking for a mascara that just works really well. I will say, out of all of these mascaras, this is probably the most intense in terms of like pigmentation, just like how black it is. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Push-Up Lashes, and this one, I have to show you the brush because it's totally different than all of the other ones that I've talked about so far, and I love this mascara. I love it. I have like 3 in backup because I love it so much. Okay, so it's kind of more of a like, I don't know how you would explain that, but it almost looks kind of like a diamond shape, right? So it kind of comes in. And then this has the harder plastic bristles. But when I flip it over onto its side, do you see how it flattens out? So with this mascara, I prefer to kind of use that flat side to really load up my lashes in terms of volume. And then I start using this side where it kind of goes up like this. When I want to start kind of dispersing that product really, really evenly onto my lashes and make sure that it gets to every single lash that I'm trying to put mascara on. So for this one, I would say the very first time that I tried this mascara, I wasn't like a huge fan of it. And I think it's because the brush does take a little bit of time for you to get used to using it, because it is kind of strange, right? Like it's kind of like a paddle, and so it's like weird. But once I got the hang of this, I use this, and I'm sure my husband that's standing behind the camera has no idea, but every single time we go out to dinner on a date night, or if I just want my lashes to look beautiful and fluttery and long and romantic and flirty, I use this mascara. It is absolutely an intense winner for me. I actually will use this mascara over my other mascaras. Like for example, like if I start with this, I might layer this one over it just to kind of get that extreme length, extreme flutter. I can't say enough good things about this mascara. And I will say, I don't like all of Charlotte Tilbury's mascaras. Her Legendary Lashes one, the volume 2, is like, it's fine, but I don't enjoy it, or I don't just like randomly tell people like, hey, I really love this mascara, you know what I mean? Not that I like randomly stop people on the street to tell them about like what mascaras I enjoy, but you know what I mean? Like, it's not one that comes up in my head when people are asking me for mascara recommendations, but this one definitely does. And the very, very last one is, the price point of this is just absurd, okay? I'm gonna be totally honest with you on that, but I really like this mascara. So this is Tom Ford's Emotionproof mascara. I haven't talked very much about waterproof mascaras. None of these are like the waterproof formula, but this is an incredible waterproof mascara. It's so good. First of all, the brush on this is very intense. You can see that it's huge. It's ginormous. And obviously that Christmas tree shape. I guess you can kind of see a bit of a trend in which mascaras I really enjoy, but this one, I don't know what it is about this formula. First of all, it's extremely black, and second of all, it builds this intense volume with this intense definition. So it literally seems like, you know, because, okay, here's the thing, right? I don't like mascaras where they're really, really intense volume, but then your lashes like clump together like this, and then you end up looking like, for lack of a better term, like a cyclops, which doesn't really make sense because I know cyclopses are just, they have one eye. But for me, I turn it into like you have one lash, and that's really not the look that I think anyone...
Like anime hair with like 3 points.
Okay, yeah. It's kind of like anime hair, as my husband describes it. So cyclops or anime hair, depends on which one you feel resonates with your soul, I guess, as we're talking about this. But this one gives you that intense volume and then gives you that intense definition so that you don't have like major clumpage issues. And then the other thing too about, in terms of the waterproof on this, man, this stuff does not come off unless you want it to. I will definitely say I recommend using an eye makeup remover if you are trying to remove this at the end of the night, but this will not budge. And one of my favorite things that I like to do with this mascara is I will put on, you know, one of my other mascaras, whatever it is that I'm doing, and then I will layer this one over it to make sure that my mascara doesn't budge. And then the other thing that I really like to do about it, especially with the huge brush, is that I like to just grab my lash hairs and then push them up and hold them there. This mascara holds curl so well. It's very, very impressive. I always have one because it's the best waterproof mascara that I found. But again, price point is really quite high, so just be aware of that. So that pretty much wraps up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed my analysis on my favorite 7 mascaras. I love every single one of these. I always have one open on my vanity, which I know sounds a little absurd, But again, like, I love mascara, so it's literally my favorite makeup step. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy watching this video, please feel free to like and subscribe to our channel, and I will see you in next week's video as I put my mascaras down very loudly. Okay, I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching. Bye. Again, if you are looking for thanks.
We watched Loki. I couldn't go to sleep. I was thinking about time.
Oh, like, you nerd. Nerd. All right.